It's only a matter of time before the MLB gets to 32 teams. The MLB last expanded in 1998, and Commissioner Manfred envisions a team in the Pacific and the Eastern time zones. He stated, "Baseball is a growth industry." In July 2018, Manfred said on First Things First, Portland, Las Vegas, Charlotte, Nashville in the United States, and certainly Montreal and maybe Vancouver in Canada could be potential expansion markets. Now, while that isn't looking to happen anytime soon, this year in MLB The Show, you can move one of the 30 MLB teams to any city that you want. So I thought it would be fun to outline the 5 most realistic cities to relocate to in MLB The Show 20. At number 1, Portland. Portland has been part of the MLB expansion relocation discussion since the early 2000s. This time around, they have something they didn't have before: financial commitments through the Portland Diamond Project, spearheaded by former Nike executive Craig Cheek. As of now, Portland is the furthest along of the West Coast markets. $1.3 billion in financial commitments that have been shown to politicians in Portland as well as the MLB. It's an agreement in principle for over 40 acres of property along Portland's Willamette River, with plans to do a much larger development. Coming at number 2, Montreal. Perhaps baseball's saddest tale of the last 30 years is the relocation of the Montreal Expos to Washington, D.C. in 2005. While the Expos' attendance was critically low in their final years, fans have always been quick to say that not for the strike in 1994, when the Expos were red hot, as well as poor ownership by Jeffrey Loria, things may have been quite different. No market has had more conversation about expansion or relocation than Montreal. Beyond that, for the 6th consecutive year, the Blue Jays have hosted spring exhibition games at Olympic Stadium. Also, only the Blue Jays claim that Montreal market as part of their broadcast territory. At number 3, Las Vegas. Like Portland, Las Vegas was part of the discussion when the Expos relocated. A big difference between then and now is the gambling is now part of the MLB landscape. Lou Weisbach was part of the conversation in the early 2000s, so he and former big leaguer Steve Stone know the MLB landscape. If MLB comes to Vegas, they can largely thank the Golden Knights for helping them to ease concerns about whether or not locals, but just tourists, would spend time away from casinos. And unlike the city of Portland, which isn't exactly pro-development, Vegas seems to sprout buildings faster than they can be planned. And being able to wager on baseball, wouldn't it make sense that Sin City locals invest in the home team? At number 4, Charlotte. One of the fastest growing areas on the East Coast outside of the state of Florida, Charlotte continues to be part of the expansion conversation. It would fill a large geographical gap from Atlanta to Washington. Charlotte has grown like a weed in the recent years. Based on census projections, just between 2010 and 2017, grew nearly 13%. And since 2000, has been one of the fastest growing cities in the U.S. Add in the appetite for minor league baseball as high with solid attendance for AAA Knights. It's also important to count that the triangle that includes Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. And at number 5, Vancouver. While Portland and Las Vegas provide U.S. markets on the West Coast, it is Vancouver, British Columbia, that would give MLB an international market to claim the Pacific time zone. And if there ever was a picturesque location to place a ballpark, Vancouver would be it. Vancouver isn't as big as Portland, but as smallish consolidated areas go, Vancouver would fit the bill. And like Portland, Vancouver would set up nice rivalry for the Mariners. Blue Jays fans in British Columbia annually make the 140-mile trek south to Seattle to support the visitors. All right, so what do you think about this list? Let me know down in the comments. And until the next one, we'll see ya. Peace.